Hi, I'm Debbie, your host. Today I'm here at the Salton Sea, also known as the California Riviera, located 1 hour outside of Palm Springs, California. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it was known as a water paradise. Famous actors, dignitaries, rich people, and others could come here and they stay for a couple of days or weeks or longer and camp or stay in hotels and motels. They go boating, water skiing, fishing, swimming, and just living it up. From many years of contamination and other issues, the Salton Sea turned into a ghost town. A living ghost town because some people still live here, but a ghost town nonetheless. Today I'm going to take you around and show you the sights and sounds of this living ghost town. I also have a treat for you today. I'm going to interview a gentleman who's trying to sell lots on the Salton Sea. I will then interview a resident that lives here. I'm going to interview Norm Nivers, who is the head of Chamber of Commerce here. I will ask them questions about how they think the Salton Sea got to be this way. The Salton Sea, that's what's up next on this episode of Abandoned. Today we're talking to one of the residents of the Salton Sea. Tell me your name and what brought you here.
My name is Fred Brown. I first came to the Salton Sea in 1947. I built my house at the end of the street here in 1980. I'm a retired real estate and building contractor. We volunteer for the various things in the community and don't really have enough time to do things for ourselves.
We are now going to speak to a businessman that also lives down here. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Larry Anderson. I've been in Desert Shores for about 6 years now, 5 years. I'm a builder, lot developer, and have built a model home here and trying to sell lots on the Salton Sea. My reason for coming down basically was they formed the Salton Sea Authority, which is the agency that's in charge and responsible for the custodianship of the sea. And when that agency was formed, I thought it's time to come down here now because people will start coming. So that's what got me down here in the first place. And that was, thinking about it at least, and that was about 7 years ago.
What was it like when you first moved here?
One of my friends told me about the Salton Sea, so we came down to water ski and fish. In those days, there were literally hundreds and hundreds of fishermen and hundreds of boaters. We used to water ski like mad. Can't tell you how many times I've skied across the sea 14 miles and the only ripple was right in back of the boat. I can't tell you how many fish I've caught that are that long. Hundreds of them, literally. In yesteryear, we were at Salton Sea Beach and we used to water ski in the morning. Then in the afternoon, about 1, 2 o'clock, we'd go up and make hors d'oeuvres and this and that and anchor the boat out from Salton Sea Beach and start fishing. And we got so many fish we couldn't even drink and snack. So that was really some great old times. I first came in 1947. I moved to Salton Sea Beach about 1970. Had a place there. I lived at Salton Sea Beach from about full-time from 1972 to about 1980. And then in 1980, I moved down here and started my house, and so I've lived here since 1980.
They recently completed the symposium in Indian Wells regarding the Salton Sea, and they have been studying the Salton Sea for the last 5 years and have finally identified all of the problems of the sea. Those of us that live near the sea know what the problems have been, and know which ones need to be solved, and they have identified all of them.
What problems have you seen at the Salton Sea, and what are the plans to solve them?
One really pretty aware of throughout the nation maybe is we've had a dead fish problem. We've had an odor problem, we've had a salinity problem, and we've had a water level problem. And all of those, the causes for all of those have been identified, and plans are in the mill to fix all of them. They're all fixable problems with a relatively small expenditure of money. So it could get really exciting in the next year as these plans unfold. So we're forming our coalitions now, our homeowners association with other homeowners associations, with the county, with the Indian tribes, with the farmers, with the irrigation districts. So I think these people in the end will come up with a solution for the sea.
So we drink wine, sit in this 102-degree water.
Local residents say they wouldn't want to live anywhere but the Salton Sea. Fred, so have you ever thought about moving ever?
And I don't really know where I'd want to go. Right now it's in January and we're sitting here in shirt sleeves. Jacket's too warm. The weather really gets nice. There's about 4 months in the summertime when it does get hot. Most of us go someplace in our motorhomes or trailers and get away from the heat. But it's not any smog. It's clear and nice. A lot of nice neighbors.
So how do you spend your time here?
We have plenty of things to do with our various activities. We have a community building here where they have breakfast and dinners and lunches and meetings.
We're going to interview a local official. What is your name and what is your relationship to the Salton Sea?
I've been here for 30 years. My name is Norman Niver. I come from Sacramento, and I'm the president of the local West Shores Chamber.
When did you come to the Salton Sea and what drew you here?
30 years ago, what really attracted me was the beauty of it, the complete beauty of the sea, the area, the desert, the good air, everything about the area was beautiful, and we've got the same air as Palm Springs. Seldom rains out here, but fishing was the main thing that caught my attention, and the second thing was that I had a chance to, after living on the trailer on the side of the sea, I had an opportunity to buy a home on the shore of the Great Lake of the Salton Sea. So I had fishing in my front yard and water skiing, swimming.
So how do you spend your time here?
I volunteer for our local ambulance thing, which keeps me pretty busy.
You can stay as busy as you want to here.
Stay as busy as you want to. Never lack for something to do. The first years when I came down to the Salton Sea, we went to Salton Sea Beach, and that was subdivided. There's about 500 or 600 lots. That was subdivided by Helen's father. And
what was Helen's last name?
Helen Burns.
Okay.
And her father was Floyd Bilyeu. And Cal Brown subdivided Salton Sea Beach back in the 50s, I guess. The daughter that's still alive is the same age as my son. I hate to say how old my son is. But anyway, Helen's ambition was to just have a hamburger stand. But during the years, she progressed from that to have a what she called a beach house. She moved the beach house back 3 different times as the water came up. The primary problem with the water is like gold, and the irrigation district, to get their fair share, wanted all the water they could get. They didn't have any place to put it, so they just run it into the Salton Sea, which raised it up. But she had such a place that every Friday and Saturday night there was a dance and a dinner, and hundreds of people having just a ball, and hundreds of water skiers, and just really getting it.
What are the issues you have found in the Salton Sea?
Everything was going great. Fishing was great. We saw the tilapia wash in 1976. They had never been here before. They'd been in the Coachella Valley canals all these for about 12 years. We happened to have a hurricane come over this area, and it lasted for almost 7 days. It rained night and day. The water came up, and the sea came up probably 17, 18 inches through all that big storm. It never stopped raining. And those tilapia that had been put in the Coachella Valley Canal to eat weeds, vegetarians, quote, washed into the sea through the laterals, and they found a lower salinity of the Salton Sea, and they survived. Next thing we knew, within 4 years, they had taken over the sea. For the first time, we had winter die-offs. We'd never had winter die-offs before. Now we had millions of them because they're a tropical perch, these tilapia, and they would die off when the water temperature got 55 degrees and less. And so now we see winter die-offs.
There's been a lot in the media about the Salton Sea. What are your views about this?
The newspapers, with all the lies they're putting out about the Salton Sea, made it look like the Salton Sea was poisoned. There's all kinds of stories they said about the Salton Sea at the time.
What do you think the future of the Salton Sea is?
Maybe the sea will go back to the heydays that, when Fred talks about, in the 60s. I mean, this was a jumping place, and it can become a jumping place again because it's very close to San Diego and it's very close to Los Angeles. It's not Fred and my sea. It's not the sea for Imperial County. It's not the sea for Riverside County. It's not the sea for California. It's, we're involved in international treaties with on birds and flyways. So it's a national asset. And finally, people are looking at it that way and figuring out how we can all work together to make it work. And the solution is here. It will be developed within the next few months. It's going to be a very exciting time.
What can you say about the Salton Sea other than it's a California national treasure that is slipping through our fingers? If we don't do something about it now, for years to come, the sea will cease to exist. There are programs in the work, but we all need to pull together and help out so we don't lose California's national treasure. As the sea has shrunk, it has become twice as salty as seawater. There are fewer fish and bird population in the area. In a 10-year plan, November 2022, using money from the Inflation Reduction Act, the federal government has agreed to spend $250 million to help prevent further environmental disaster to the lake. Salton Sea population in 2023 is 4,900. Who knows where the future lies for the Salton Sea? Only time will tell. I'm Debbie. Till the next episode, thank you for watching Abandoned.